Grand Rising Butterflies, this is the Awakened Butterfly, and I am back with another video. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time coming across my channel and you enjoy the content, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. I hope everyone is having a great morning. I am back to talk about another gang stalking tactic with you guys today. Guys, as targeted individuals, it seems like everywhere you go, you experience some type of spiritual attack, whether you know the individual or not. And it came across my mind when coming up with, when thinking of different ways that we are harassed as targeted individuals, that one of the main places that you could be attacked is at your workplace. And if you're not a full-time business owner, work is like your second place from home. It's where you spend most of your time. And monitoring spirits and gang stalkers see the workplace as a playground for harassing their targets, most definitely. So today I'm going to be talking about workplace mobbing and what causes these attacks to happen at the workplace. What causes these people to form groups, harass and attack one individual? We're going to get into that today. I want to give a shout out to psychcentral.com, which is where I obtained my credible information from. So without further ado, I'm going to dive right into this video, guys. And I want to start off talking about what workplace mobbing is. And workplace mobbing is when you're being bullied at work by a group of coworkers. And the main people involved does not have to be just your coworkers. It can be your supervisors and your managers as well. And yes, guys, people of high authorities in the workplace are most certainly guilty of bullying as well. There's no limit on a person's level or position when it comes to when they're a bully. There's no there's no limit on their level of position in the workplace as to how far they can go to make someone else feel uncomfortable. And a lot of the reasons, two main reasons why a lot of these things happen is because one main reason is they try and force you to quit. There's something about you being there that irritates their demons so bad that they really can't stand the sight of you and they really don't want you there. So they try and make your work life as miserable as possible to the point to where you don't want to be there anymore. Another reason is to force you into some type of compliance. And what I mean by that is maybe they could be trying to force you into working some unwanted shifts or take some type of position at the workplace that you're not comfortable with at that time, or just not comfortable with doing it all. Maybe you're not willing to participate in workplace bullying against someone else. Maybe you're your own individual. You don't fall into what's going on around you. You may even be one of those people that strongly stands up for yourself when this bullying is taking place by your coworkers. And for this reason, they don't like you and they see you as a threat in the workplace because the things that they are familiar and comfortable with, when you come around, you make them feel uncomfortable with those things. And you also break the norm of what they're used to. And guys, this irritates their demons because you already know that I'm going to speak about this later on in the video from a spiritual perspective, because this is most certainly spiritual. And I'm going to read a statement from a professional licensed counselor by the name of Courtney Baber. I'm going to read her summary from the research summary that I based my video from. And she said that mobbing was once used to describe animal predatory behavior. And guys, that is awful. That the things that you go through at work as a target can be compared to animal predatory behavior. That means that these people pretty much have no heart at all. And they don't care about hurting someone's feelings. They don't care about the mental state that they put someone in. And they most certainly don't care about jeopardizing someone's job. But today, she stated that now the word mobbing is used to describe a group of coworkers that humiliate, harass, and terrorize one target coworker. So this just pretty much lets you know the severity of the situation and how bad it can get at work. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are most certainly aware of this. And from my own experience, I've even did story times on this channel where I talk about some experiences that I've had at work. And this video is for anyone out there that is experiencing some type of bullying or harassment at work. And you may have some people in the corner that's trying to make you feel like you're not experiencing it. And you know, I also realize there's usually two sets of people when these things take place. You have the bullying group, and then you have the group that is afraid to speak out because they too are going through it, or they've went through it. So in order for them to not experience it at all, or to the level of severity that you are experiencing it, they may just sit back in the corner and not say anything. If it's happening with your coworkers, they may not be quick to go and help you out and report this to your supervisors or your managers. And maybe if you do walk up to them and, you know, try and talk to them about it, they may act nonchalant, act like they really don't know what's going on, like they don't see it, even though it's being done right in front of them, or they just may act like they don't care altogether. And this is because they have been indoctrinized to stay out of the situation. And the fact that you can't be indoctrinized and thrown into a category with everyone else is why you're being targeted. And mobbing is different from bullying because it can affect coworkers no matter what position they are in. Which means a leader of a boardroom can have this same problem. They can experience bullying just as well as a regular warehouse associate can be bullied. A custodian can be bullied. A fast food worker can be bullied. It doesn't matter who you are or what position you have at work. No one should experience workplace mobbing. And it also doesn't limit the people that do it. And I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why after I read this, another statement from this survey, which says in 2021, guys, a survey conducted by Workplace Bullying Institute. There's actually an institute out there that studies and does evaluations on workplace bullying. And they said that over 48.6 million people have experienced bullying firsthand in the workplace. So this is not uncommon. This happens a lot. Statistics also show that men are most likely to bully men and women are most likely to bully women. There's not any research explaining why that happens, but this is usually how it goes. And a lot of the causes behind workplace mobbing, which is pretty much workplace gang stalking, is because you're conformed. You stay in your own lane. You're not moving how others want you to move. You make your work associates uncomfortable when you do that, and you irritate their demons. Example. Let's say, for instance, it's lunchtime, and everyone else is used to sitting in the break room and they may be gossiping or, just stirring up things. And this is where everyone sits around and catches up, on their social life with each other. And there's a lot of gossiping and a lot of conflict going on. You may be one of those people to go and have lunch in your car. You may, if you work in an office setting, you may go and have lunch at your cubicle and just stay to yourself. You may have your lunch and read a book, or you may go to a nearby park or something like that. Whatever it is, you have your own conformed space where you go and have your lunch, and you're not around everybody else. And this really irritates people. And I'm going to tell you another reason why it irritates people so bad. Because deep down, they don't feel right about what they're doing. So since they haven't healed from that place and they're fighting that demon, they want other people to join. And the more people that join, it's spiritually, it's more demons that are taking place in this attack against the target individual. You also are one of those people who probably don't kiss up to higher authority at your job, like the managers and the supervisors, or the person who's up next for that position, for that matter. You treat everyone equally with the same respect. You don't kiss up to the managers and lowball your coworkers. You treat everyone the same. And there may be there may be people who are actually at the point, at their job where they feel they have to do that to kiss up to higher authority to get in a certain position. And you're in a great position at your job without even having to do those things. I don't care where you work. It could be anywhere. You have a great work ethic. You have a great attendance record. You're not known for causing any conflict. You haven't been late that much. Whatever the situation is. And, no one's perfect. So even if you did miss a couple of days or if you were late, your loyalty to your supervisors and your managers, it helps them to understand why you were not, present at that time or why you were late, because overall you're a dependable person. And you're just a great worker. You come to work and that's it. You're not there to make friends. You're not there to bully or gossip. You're not there to do any of those things. You go to work for what it's for, and that's to make your living. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are not there for that reason. So when you come across those type of people and they can see that you're not like that, it makes you a target to their work antics. A lot of mobbing techniques that they use, and this is how you would know that if you're experiencing some things and you're like, everyone at work is kind of treating me strange and I don't know where it's coming from. This is why. And I'm going to read a lot of more other reasons to you guys. And I'm also going to let you know a lot of mobbing techniques that are being used. And one of which is a persistent criticism. This is where your coworkers are constantly putting you down for anything. It can be anywhere from your appearance to your work performance. When in all actuality, there's nothing wrong with you either way. But they will always find something to try and make you feel insecure about, only to stop you from doing those things. And that's when you have to know when people do things, when they criticize you, it's not because the things that they say are actually true. It's because they feel intimidated and they're jealous and they're trying to put you down. You have to know the difference. They will also do things like blame you without having an actual cause or facts to back up what they're saying. Something could have happened at work. There could have been an incident with a machine or with some paperwork or anything, depending on where you work. And these group of people are automatically blaming you when you didn't have anything to do with it. You probably didn't even work that day, but everything's your fault. And you're baffled because you're trying to figure out how did they come to the conclusion that you're the one, that did it. Also, and this is where lying comes in. There will be a lot of lying, a lot of slandering. There might be some false rumors being spreaded, a lot of things that are not true. These things are to get you upset and to get you out of your character, so you can possibly get written up, suspended, or maybe even fired. These things are happening to get you upset. So it's like they're pushing buttons to see how far they can get you, because you're usually quiet. Like I said before, you're conformed and you stay to yourself. So when you're like this, you're constantly being harassed and tested by these people. Also, discriminating behaviors, like trying to pick fights with you, trying to start conflict, maybe trying to destroy your work area, just things that are way out of pocket. And a lot of the time, guys, some of these gang stalking coworkers are in cahoots with their gang stalking managers and supervisors. You may notice at work, a lot of the times there's certain coworkers that they always sit at the table with the managers and the supervisors. They're always hanging out with them, and sometimes they may even do things like they may even stand in your proximity and discuss things that they have talked about over the weekend to let you know that they're connected with each other outside the job. So, that's how you know when people are most certainly not using the workplace for work only. They're using it as a meetup spot. It's like a playground. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a playground for monitoring spirits and gang stalkers to harass targets, because they feel, okay, I've got you in this confined spot every day for so many days and hours a week, and I've developed, some sort of relationship with you because I've worked with you. I get an opportunity to monitor you without it looking strange because we work together. There's a lot of advantages to for the gang stalkers and the monitoring spirits when workplace mobbing is concerned. Also, there's constant harassment. When dealing with some coworkers, or usually this right here, what I'm about to say happens with the supervisors and the managers. They usually yell at their employees a lot of the times. Some people may have experienced being shouted at by their supervisors and managers. And this too is to see how far you will go, to see how you will react. Will you react in anger, or will you react in a sense of professionalism? Being persistently ignored. Now, this is one that could fall for many different reasons. Let's say, okay, you may need some important paperwork from your job as a verification of employment. You may be trying to get a new home, a new apartment, or something like that. Purchase a car or anything, and you need this important paperwork to prove your income. You might need an important statement from your supervisor. You may need proper PPE equipment if you work in a warehouse. Just different things that only your supervisor or manager can help you with. You may even be being harassed by other coworkers, and you're trying to go to someone of higher authority, and you're trying to grant your request, and you're constantly being ignored. You may be trying to get with your manager, supervisor, and figure out your vacation hours. You may be trying to, get your vacation days in before the year is up, or something like that. And whatever the case may be, you're being ignored, and it's like your only importance there is clocking in and clocking out. No one cares about your well-being on the job. You may see some other things that are taking place at work that are just simply not right. And it's something that could affect everyone. And you may want to talk about that. It could be a safety hazard. No one is listening. Everyone is ignoring what you have to say. This is also on purpose to see how you will react. It's like a movie, just like the Truman Show. These people will set up the scene as I also look at the workplace like a street theater gang stalking scene as well. because many scenes can be said on the job that are really false, but they're being set up to get a reaction out of the target. Another thing that can happen is you could start to feel a sense of isolation at work. Although you are a conformed person, but they could put you in job positions where they have you totally isolated from everyone else. Also, with the harassment that is taking place, it may cause you to self-isolate yourself. A lot of these things may be the reasons why you are a conformed person, why you may eat lunch at your cubicle or in your car or go to a nearby park, or even if there's a second break room that no one really sits in and you just go there, just to get away from the harassment. These things can cause isolation, whether it's voluntarily or involuntarily. They could also add challenges and obstacles. Pretty much roadblocks to your job to make it hard. They could, if you work in a machine operating setting, they could try and tweak your machine to get it to run improperly, or they could try and damage some paperwork, or just wherever you work, they may try and do things. If you work in as a cashier job, they may try to get do things to make your register come up short. And see, these are the things. See, let's say for instance, if you have a manager and they're down with the gang stalking, and they could purposely make your drawer short and pretend that they don't know, why it's that way, because they're the only one besides you that would have authorization to go inside of that drawer. So there's just a lot of things, that could go against a target individual when they're at work. And it just leaves you baffled. You're trying to wondering, constantly, what's causing these things? Why is this happening? And it's a lot of it is because there's competition-based performance jobs, where people are. Sometimes the supervisors and the managers could make the co-workers go against each other when dealing with these production-based jobs or these commission-based jobs, where it would conjure a competition-based performance. Like, the more you do this, the more you'll get this. It's not like a regular, place where you can go and perform and you can reach higher levels in the company. It's more based on competition, because it's like people are fighting for a spot instead of just focusing on doing a good job to get the job done. It's more about, they're caring more about their image, how they're going to be looked at, how much more money they can make, how farther up in the company that they can be moved. Some people love competing with others, and a lot of people will do deceitful things in order to defeat another person. And it's really not cool, and it causes a lot of people to not want to even show up at work. And also, you may work at a place where you don't have any policies on anti-bullying. So when this is made clear, because these bullies already know that they don't have anti-bullying policies at their job. They've already checked into this because this is what they do. Because they know that there's a chance that you may go and report these things. Or if there is an anti-bully policy, you're not clear on it. It hasn't been discussed in any employee meetings. You haven't received any paperwork. It's like something that's non-existent, even if it was existent. And this is because they don't want anything to confirm why they shouldn't be bullying. They don't want any accountability for their actions against you. Also, things like I mentioned earlier, group-based commissions and goals. If you have a job where people work in groups and they receive their compensation based off of commission and other higher levels of work performance, this will cause groups to go against each other, to be very competitive against each other. And whatever group is a higher achiever at that time, it could make them a target against another group. Also, things such as racism, sexism, any other grounds of and other factors of discrimination and prejudiceness takes place at the job as well. This too is a spiritually demonic act, and it's also a form of gang stalking. And these things alone causes people to feel that they are free to act out against another person. Another factor that is most certainly should have been at the top of the list is jealousy. And this happens usually when the people that bully you, that have low self-esteem, and it makes them jealous of you as a coworker. You know, if you're an admirable person and you have a lot of great qualities about yourself and you seem to be, well liked by your other coworkers on the job, especially if you're, liked by a supervisor or manager because of your work performance. This really would irritate these bullies as well. And this is when they would try to do anything to destroy your work position. Okay. Also, I just want you to know from a spiritual standpoint that these are demons in the workplace, and they were sent to torment and humiliate, harass, and destroy the target. And they're also there to knock you off of your purpose, to financially destroy you. They also want to see you homeless. When this happens, that's why it's good to pray against all demonic strongholds, because these are indeed demonic spirits inside of these people. And it seems like they follow you from job to job, depending on, over the years, if you switch jobs and you realize this is the same type of harassment that I've experienced before. So it's like you're being gang stalked at work. You may also, depending on how long you've been there, how people can get your numbers. You can exchange numbers from time to time and things like that. After working somewhere for so long, you may get to know some of your coworkers on a personal level. And then over time, they may change. But now they have your phone number. They know where you live. They know certain people in your family. They know other people that are connected to you. So you may receive some harassing phone calls from coworkers. They're wondering, they're asking you, why don't you sit with us at work? Why don't you hang out with us after work? Why don't you, all these questions, wanting to know why you don't want to be in their presence. Really, in all actuality, they know why. They just want to harass you and get a reaction out of you. They just want to hear you say it. Also, they could ride past your home, just being nosy, trying to invade your privacy. And they may altogether, just try and pry into your personal life. Like trying to get to know your family members, trying to figure out what you do outside of work, things like that. And this is why it's not always good to form personal relationships with people that you work with. Because if things, could possibly go left, you really don't want to have to deal with these people on a personal level. You just want to keep it on a professional level where you can go to work, do your job, and go home. Because at the end of the day, these people are demonically possessed, and they are obsessed with you at the end of the day. I've witnessed a lot of things at, places I've worked where I've actually seen individuals be obsessed with someone to the point to where they want their jobs gone. They don't want to see them have a job. And I'm going to discuss a few physical symptoms, guys, that are associated with this. See, these things don't just attack us mentally and spiritually, they attack us physically as well. So if you have been at work and you've been experiencing some harassment and you've been feeling neck pain, muscle pain and stiffness, cardiovascular symptoms, maybe feeling like your heart skipping a beat or something like that. Maybe you've went to the doctor and you've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Now, guys, I'm just educating you guys from research, okay? Because I'm learning a lot of these things that I didn't know as well that could be physical results from workplace mobbing. I'm shocked about some of these things myself, and majority of them I'm not, because majority of them I'm familiar with, like sleep disturbances, symptoms of depression, anxiety, fatigue, and some people may even have self-demise thoughts, if you know what I mean. It can get that deep. Your job can really consume you as it is, but when you have to deal with people that are trying to make it hard, it makes it even worse. And it can lead to people not wanting to come to work. High levels of absenteeism, poor customer service, how you perform overall, even how you deal with customers on a daily basis. It could lead to higher chances of making mistakes on the job, because now you can't concentrate because you have so much going on. And it could cause some legal action to have to take place, because it can get that serious. If someone's harassing you that bad at work to the point where you can't even go to work without being harassed by someone, it's adult bullying at the end of the day. And it's like, when you go to work, it's like high school, and you have to deal with these grown bullies. And bullying, guys, can be at the workplace. It can be verbal, social, and physical. It just depends on the level of people that you're working with. The severity of the demonic forces that are taking over their body that's causing them to attack you in the first place. And they may also do things like, if you were once cool with these people, they may start to intentionally leave you out of their group sessions, not invite you to lunch. When there's a new employee that starts the job, they may try and slander you to that person to keep them from forming some type of relationship with you. Just things to try and make your job hard. Like I said, hoping that you would quit and leave. And I feel that a lot of these managers, they, if they weren't a part of gang stalking themselves, the ones that are not, I feel that they should create zero tolerance policies. And if anyone breaks those policies, they should be automatically terminated. And I feel that workplace bullying should be applied in that policy, because it really is getting out of hand. I also feel, guys, that you shouldn't quit. Don't quit the job. If anything, keep going to work and doing what you have to do. And sometimes they may become so irritated that they fire you. And the first thing that they say is, under certain laws, they don't have to tell you why they got rid of you. If something like this happens, just look at it as a sign that the Most High is moving you to something better. Don't fret, don't worry, just move on to the next step. Seek new employment. Because if you know that you're praying every day, you're trying to do the right thing, you're going to work, you're doing your job to the best of your ability, you're trying to be a dependable worker and they let you go, it's not your fault. I want you to also know that overall workplace mobbing is not your fault. This is a gang stalking tactic. It has nothing to do with you as a person, personally. It's a personal vendetta that they have against you as to why it's taking place altogether. But if it does get worse, I know I told you not to quit, but if it gets to the point where these people are starting to show up at your home, harassing your phone, your tires are getting flat, just crazy things like that, especially when it's coming from people of higher authority that has a bigger chance of getting away with it, just seek new employment. And also you can go over their head and report them as well. There's always someone higher than someone else. So there's always someone that can be reported to someone else. So don't ever let these supervisors and these managers intimidate you and make you feel like there's no one that you can report to when these type of things are taking place at work. Also, since it's spiritual, don't be surprised if the harassment worsens because of the times we are in altogether. Look at the times we're in, guys. It wouldn't be a surprise to go to work and have demons stalking you and harassing you. That's going to be one of the main places you will be harassed. I used to always hear people say, work is where I go to get away from a lot of things that I go through at home. But when you're a targeted individual, work is probably one of the last places, even though you have to go because you have to make a living, it's probably one of the last places that you want to go because you can't just walk out. You have to deal with these people a certain amount of days out of the week for a certain amount of hours. You have to. So it's always good to try and stay prayed up before you go to work. Pray when you leave work. Some days when you're off, have maybe a 24-hour fast in between going back to work. Just until you're able to find something else, or if you plan on just rolling with the punches, which I wouldn't let them make me quit because that's what they want to do. I feel like the more that you fight against it, they will be defeated, especially with the power of God, because He sees everything that's going on. And some of these people wonder why they may end up losing their jobs or going through a hard time at work, because it's because of the problems that they inflicted on someone else. And we're going to talk about what God says about bullying. Leviticus chapter 19 verse 18 says, "You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord." So, you don't have to go to work and make friends with people, but respecting, showing love and respect is always good, no matter who you're dealing with. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7 says, "For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." So pray for that power, love, and self-control, to have the power to stand up, to not let these people run you away. Have the love of God in your heart to keep you grounded. And have the self-control to keep you even-tempered when dealing with these people. Because it seems like the more calm you are, the more severe the attacks will get, to see how far they can go with you. So I want you to understand that these things are happening for a reason. I know it's crazy. I know sometimes you may go to work and someone may say or do something and you may have to ask God in your free time, why did this just happen? Why did this person just say that? Well, it's because they're irritated by the light that you possess from God. And you're just you're a pretty good person, and it irritates them. Everyone's not a good person out there. Just because someone smiles in your face, it doesn't mean that they're a good person. There's so much drama that occurs at work more than it does outside of work, because it's like a meetup spot instead of work for some people, to gossip, slander, and to start problems. Don't let these people run you off of your job, guys. Stand strong. And if you do, get terminated from your job, just know that it was for a good reason, and the Most High has something else out there better for you. Because we all know that when one door closes, another one most certainly opens through God's will. And these attacks are all a part of the spiritual warfare that we are experiencing. So from here on out, guys, I just want you to look at everything from a spiritual standpoint. Majority of everything that we're going through, look at it from a spiritual standpoint, and it will probably give you better clarity on why it's happening. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like this video, share this video if you don't mind, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stay tuned to the channel because I will be making several more videos. I know that you guys love the gang stalking videos, so I will try to keep those type of content-based videos coming from you guys. I love you guys so much. Stay safe out there. Stay prayed up. Continue to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And until the next video, peace and blessings.